Hi everybody, it's Cookie Lou. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. I have on my bathing suit and I'm going to be uh, going swimming at the recreation center. Probably leave here in about an hour. Put an hour and a half in the lap pool. I'm still going to STI gym as a fitness patient now that my therapy is over, and I put in an hour and a half of excessive workout. And I'm starting to, I won't say enjoy it, but I'm starting to see some progress in the way I feel. I'm feeling a lot better. Um, I just wanted to go over a few things. Some of you know when I really injured my back when I relocated to this new apartment. I did have the highest weight gain I've ever had, about 20, 22, about 20, 22 pounds. About 20 pounds, actually, because I've been going over my calendar. For those of you who don't know my history, I'm going to briefly say that I started my weight at about 297. I had VSG surgery in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico by Dr. Armando Hoya. It was a very good experience for me. The reason why I went to Mexico was because Medicare would not cover VSG, and at the time that was the only surgery that I was considering. Considering now the struggles that I've had because of my addiction to, my food addiction, primarily sugar. Ice cream addiction is off the wall. And I found it very difficult after surgery to stay away from that. And as a result, there was a lot of yo-yoing back and forth. So now that I'm thinking about the struggle that I've had with the VSG, for various reasons, my age is a big one. My physical problems, which keeps me from exercising, or did keep me from exercising quite a bit in the beginning. I am doing a lot more now than I thought my body could handle, and it's working out. But considering the struggles I've had, I probably would have went for an RNY. Although, regain happens no matter what surgery you have. After you're out a couple of years, the body just requires more food or requires more poundage, because like it or not, the body is going to put on the pounds. People gain 10, 15, maybe 20 pounds. Some people just gain a few, but they've lost, over 100 plus pounds. So gaining an extra 15 or 20 is no big deal in my book. I only lost 50% of my weight with the VSG, which is another reason why I kind of regret doing that one, which was a total of 60 pounds. And I really worked hard, even though I slipped from time to time. I worked hard, and it just really wasn't working well. It wasn't working well enough for me after a while. And I was kind of going over my calendar here, and here we are, December 2nd, 2011, and I had my surgery February 24th, 2012. And I was writing notes on my calendar here, and on December 2nd, 2011, I wrote, weight 301 pounds at doctor's office, mostly due to edema in legs. My blood pressure medication was causing swelling. Changed the meds, got water pills for the edema, and lost, I lost 7 pounds. Finally saw a scale hit 300 mark, edema or not, I'm getting weight loss surgery. That was pretty much what caused me to do it. Prior to that, I had a very bad bout. I have a knee joint replacement on one knee, and I had problems with the other. I went to the doctor, and he had to give me a shot of cortisone because the pain got that bad. And he had said to me, what many doctors have said over the years, Lucille, you've got to lose some weight. So as I was hobbling back on my cane in a tremendous pain from that injection, I hobbled back to my car and I said, I'm done. I'm getting weight loss surgery. I can't do this myself anymore. And I was very happy with the VSG. At first, I was losing weight every week. I was doing really well. I probably started my weight loss pre-op diet. I was 297. And as time proceeded, let me see, that was in January, it was 297. And uh, just for a little bit more of information, when I started my weight loss surgery decision, I started immediately going on the pre-op diet. I started trying the protein drinks, the protein powders. I was eating salad. I was eating a lot of liquid soups and such. And here it is here. It was 297 February 12th. The 3rd of February was 290 pounds. Start pre-op diet today. So I started at 290 pounds my pre-op diet. And I pretty much lost 12 pounds on that in a month. And then in February, I started the full flow liquid diet, which I was accustomed to at that point, so it wasn't difficult for me to do it. And I was bound and determined to do everything I needed. Every step of the way, I was going to be pristine because I wanted this to work. And I felt it was my last chance. And I wanted it to work. So let me see here. For instance, 282 pounds, week 2 liquid diet. I got down to 279 pounds. That's what they weighed me when I was fully clothed with my shoes on at a Merrimed hospital in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It was the 24th of February, and I was about to go down for surgery. Okay, then first week post-op, I was down to 270, so I lost 9 pounds in 1 week. Oh, I was loving that. Loving that. BSG week 2, weight down to 265. Tummy hurts a little after I swallow. Also some healing pains around the incision under my top of my belly. Week 3, 260 pounds. I was eating approximately 550 calories, 43 proteins, and I was on the treadmill for 7 minutes. 7. That's pretty much all I could do because I wasn't used to exercising, but I wanted to start some movement, so I did 7 minutes on the treadmill. And then I kind of stalled. Week 4, 260 pounds. Week 5, 260 pounds. Week 6, 260 pounds. Not a happy camper. Then I kept doing my due diligence, and then week 7, I was 257. Week 8, I was 254. Following week, 253, then 252. So we were starting to move again. 248, 248, 249. In May, here we are in June, 249, 250, 249, 248, 243. It went down a little bit, week 18. Now we're into the month of July, 242, 43, 43, 45, 45, stalling, 245, 44, 43, 44, 45, August, September, again staying in the 240s. I had 1 day where I was 239, week 31. Now we're into October. I'm still in the 240s, the low 240s, between 240 and 243 and a half. November, 240s, 239, 238. Then December 2012, I was pretty much in the 238 range. And then I went up to 246, and then I went up to 250, because now we're into Christmas and I'm screwing around with food. So after the holidays, and I had some weight gain for about 3 weeks, and I got back on point, and I got down to the 240 range, and that is pretty much where I stayed for about 3 months. Then in May, I went down to 239, 238, 236 and a half, and stayed in the 238 range. At the end of June, I started going up to 242, 251, 245. And I stayed in the 240s for July. Went down to 230. In August, I had kind of really applied my efforts, and I went down to the 230s again. My lowest weight ever since VSG surgery was on August 16th, 2013, at 2,031.4 pounds. And I was looking really good, considering, I mean, I'm 5'7", and I was looking good. And then once we got into October 2013, I started gaining again, 249, 250. So as you can see here, I'm playing around with the same pounds. Now I'm down to 230, January 2014, I'm down to the 230s again, 240s in February. And that's when I moved here. No, that's not when I moved here. I moved here in, I stayed between 238 and 245 for the next year. Couple of months, I was in the 250 range. I was having a lot of emotional stress during that time, enormous, and it showed on the scale. And here we go. So now we're into November 2014. I'm in the 238s. Then I'm back up to, I just stopped weighing. It was about a month and a half here where I just didn't even weigh. And then December 2014, my weight was 257.8. 254, 253, January, February, 251, February, March, same 250s, high 250s, 259, 258. And then in April 15, I was here. I had really blown my back to bits, and I was just eating a lot of carbs, sandwiches, cereals, sugary foods, grab a burger here and there, outside. And I don't eat junk food burgers, but for convenience, and because I was doing so much work, trying to get moved and settled, and hanging pictures, and back exploding with pain, sciatic exploding with pain. And all I did in between my little chores here was sit in the chair and eat comfort food, or quick foods, which was usually carbs, pasta, burgers. We have a Chinese restaurant up the street, and they had a great luncheon special, $5 for a nice little Chinese meal. Of course, I indulged in that. So that's what brought me up to about 200, here we go, April, May, about 265.3 pounds was in June 2015. And that was my highest regain. So that's pretty much my history. And I did lose in August. So I started June 16th trying to get back on track. And now went down to 255. Pretty much stayed there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So I said, okay, I have to do something. I have to change it up. Something's not right. I was going to the gym. I was busting my ass. And I really wasn't. I mean, I lost 10 pounds. And then I just kind of froze there, you know. So I was talking to my guy at the gym, my therapist, and he said to me, Lucille, I'm going to suggest going off as many carbs as possible. Even though you're eating healthy, you know, the beans, the fruit, it's a lot of carbs. He says I would just stop that for a while and see what happens. Go on a low-carb diet and pick up your fat. He says, you know, forget the margarine, you know, use butter, use oil. This guy is in great shape, and he's really a good nutritionist, and he really exercises like crazy. He's in his late 40s, and he looks like an Adonis. Not muscle-bound, just lean, cut, nice. Darren, great guy. So he was guiding me a little bit. So I went home, and I found this book. Let me just, I can't see myself. There we go. I found this book. It's called, it was in my library. It's called Low Carb Cookbook, the Low Carb Cookbook. And as you know what, this thing has been on my shelf for years. I'm going to start reading the recipes in here. They sound pretty good, and I'm going to start cooking some of this. But in order to give myself a good boost, I looked up the Atkins program. Not that I'm, well, maybe I guess I can say I'm on the Atkins program. It has changed since I was on it last. It was like 10 carbs, I think, maximum. Now they give you between 12 and 15 a day. And I think I'm going to try some of their foods, some of their shakes, which I'm doing right here. I have Atkins shakes. It's 15 protein, 1 sugar, 1 net carb. This is the strawberry one. And I have the strawberry, I got the vanilla, the caramel coffee latte, and they have a dark chocolate royal milk chocolate. And it's pretty good. So I'll have this for breakfast and maybe for a snack. It's 1 carb to a maximum of 2, depending upon the flavor. I had this last night, which was really good. Normally, the last week that I've been starting, I've been doing my own cooking. I'd make my own ham and eggs in the morning, excuse me, or I'd make, a lean burger. I'm buying organic meats, steak, fish, steak, chicken, and turkey, organic. And I'll make myself a patty or a little piece of steak or something. I wanted to try some of their dinners because they were only on sale for $2.99. So I got this, and it's the crustless chicken pot pie, and this was really, really good. I have to say, it was filling. It was 5 net carbs for the evening meal, and calories was 330, total fat 22. Now remind yourself, I'm going to remind you, fat is not an issue here. Calories is not an issue. We have to watch the count of the carbs pretty much only. I mean, you can't go crazy. But needless to say, I found this very enjoyable. I really was afraid to do this, but just for curiosity, I wanted to try it because I want to stay away from any of their meals that has any kind of pasta or bread or pizza. I'm not indulging in. It's only going to be meat and vegetables, and that's it. Just try it out if I'm not cooking for myself. This is something that I really want to stay away from, but I bought it just to try it. It's a caramel chocolate nut roll, and it is extremely delicious. But to me, it's still a candy bar. This is what it looks like. I will not be eating it this morning, but this is what it looks like. Okay. And it has a little, what do you call it? It has a little, where am I with this camera? A little nugget thing inside. And you can nibble away on this for a good half hour if you really pace yourself. I had one of these just to taste it, and it was really good, so I have to really watch myself with this because it'll stimulate my need and interest in tasting sugar. And it only had 3 net carbs in it, so if you need to have a snack, it's not so bad. So this is pretty much what I'm doing, and I have to say that my weight this morning, I started, my highest weight after my regain was 265.8, I think, and that was started that in June 16th, and then I kind of froze at 255. And after being on this for 4 days, I'm down to 251.5 today. So the scale is coming down after a long stall. It's coming down. So I'm going to try this between my low-carb cookbook and just sticking with some of the Atkins products because I can pretty much trust that the carb count is correct. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. And I think it's working. It's working pretty well. And I want to stick to it, strictly stick to it, and hopefully I can continue to get down to a Wonderland weight. It's really what I'm looking forward to. So that was my little recap today, a little bit of my history, a little bit of what I'm doing now to really try and conquer my problem with food, because I just didn't know what to eat anymore. I mean, I'm exercising 7 days a week, and I'm doing some really nonstop hardcore stuff. And for me not to lose, or to lose so little, I said, I'm eating healthy, I'm eating clean, and I was buying the fruits and the vegetables and the beans, and no pasta, none of that stuff, no potato, and just eating fish and lean proteins and lots of veggies and lots of fruit. And I thought maybe the fruit was too much sugar, and apparently it was, and I should be eating more meats and less vegetables, at least at this point to see if the low carb diet helps me, because my body apparently does not do well with carbs. So that's where I'm at. I wanted to give you a little update, and I wish you all a great week. Bye-bye.